Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today on this Thursday, including Brandon Sutter, standing by, brought to you by the Vancouver Giants. Giants have 3 regular season home games remaining at the LEC. Their next home game, Sunday, as they take on the Cougars of Prince George. Puck drop is at 4. Get your tickets now at vancouvergiants.com/tickets. We're about to be joined by somebody who knows all about Western Hockey League hockey. Brandon Sutter, the former Red Deer Rebel, 6 seasons with the Canucks. Hasn't played, though, since the 2020-2021 NHL season as he dealt with the long-term effects of COVID-19. And Brandon joins us now. Brandon, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you doing?
Good. Very well. Well, how are you doing? There's the million-dollar question for a lot of Vancouver hockey fans. Brandon, how's your health?
Yeah, it's finally improving. Finally starting to feel better. Making some progress. So it's been a long road for sure, and definitely learned more about my immune system than I probably ever thought I would. But starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel for sure, and just becoming a good dad again, and starting to come around for sure.
It sounds like, as I state the obvious here, you're still dealing with COVID-19, Brandon, the long-term effects. What can you tell us about that, and what's your average day like?
Yeah, it's it's been a complex case for sure. Spoke with a few people that have kind of gone through the similar stuff, and basically it's just you kind of have a dysregulation of your immune system, and your body starts almost in like a inflammatory state all the time, and different organs react different ways. And it's just been a grind. So starting to feel better though. Kind of getting things narrowed down. Kind of figure out I have a bit of an intolerance to certain things, and hopefully trying to clear all that up. But day to day now, I'm back to working out again, which feels good, because for the longest time I couldn't do much for training or skating or nothing. So I've been working out, and I've been skating with the Rebels and Red Deer again here. So just trying to kind of keep my body going. And again, I'm not sure if I'll get back playing or not, but I'm at least going to give myself a chance, and I'm hopeful to give another try in the fall if I can. But again, like I said, it's nice being back to just feeling better, and I still got some work to do. I'm not quite normal yet, but it's nice to be a normal dad, normal guy again, and I can kind of get through the day-to-day stuff without too much difficulty.
Your dad's team, the Red Deer Rebels. March 2021, 21 Vancouver players get hit with COVID-19. What symptoms did you experience initially, and how frustrating was it, or is it, knowing that you were a long hauler or are a long hauler?
Yeah, it is frustrating. It comes out of nowhere. When we got it as a team, we all didn't feel good. No one, we all pretty much think there was, I don't know how many of us, 18 of us or 19 of us that got it. We were all pretty sick. And for 2 weeks, especially those first 3 or 4 days, it was horrible. But it took about 2 weeks. Then we came back. We started practice it again. And guys I think you're kind of surprised how you kind of got over it in a couple of weeks. And I think we played, maybe 20 days after we all kind of got it. So wasn't much for issue then. I didn't really feel anything was bothering me. And then it was kind of midsummer, towards a couple weeks out, I guess a couple months after the season that year, I started noticing just difficulty breathing sometimes. I couldn't really figure out what it was. And then when I really started ramping up my training in August and my skating and everything, I just started realizing there was no way I could do this, and started having all different kinds of symptoms. So like I said, it's bizarre, and it's frustrating, because if you're with a group of guys that all got the same strain, we all got it from the same plate or whatever, we all were connected with it, and no one else had any issue with it after a couple of weeks. And here I am 2 years later, and I'm still grinding. So it's frustrating for sure, but like I said, there's not much. You kind of just play the cards you're dealt and deal with it, and definitely got to advocate for your own health. I've learned that for sure. You have to find ways to figure out what's going on, and it's frustrating for sure, but I'm finally kind of getting through it and starting to feel normal again.
Brandon, you said hopefully another try in the fall. Nobody knows better than you how tough it is to be in the NHL. Everyone's getting faster, better, stronger. You are a high pick. You're obviously a very good player. Do you feel you can get back to that level? Because you know how hard it is.
Yeah, it's no joke. I don't know yet. I've been skating with the Rebels here, and at least going through their practices. It's obviously a junior level, but these guys are still a heck of a lot faster than I was when I was a junior. So it's still a pretty good pace. But there's still days where if we have a really hard practice, I kind of know if they're playing on the weekend, if they don't have a good game on Saturday or Sunday, I know that Monday or Tuesday is going to be a pretty hard skate.
Exactly.
So I've kind of learned the schedule. But if I have a really hard day on a Tuesday or something like that, it takes me about 2 days to kind of recover from it. And so I'm not there yet. But like I said, I'm hoping to figure out something else here this month, get some more results back, and hopefully get over that kind of barrier, because you have to be at it, 24, or you have to feel good within 24 hours after doing anything. So it's a hard level to get to. And like I said, I was hopeful this year to return at some point or try to do something. And now I realize it's not going to happen. So I'm just setting my sights on the fall, and it's kind of my last chance to give it a crack. So I'm going to do everything I can. And like I said, if it works out, I'll be pretty excited. And if it doesn't, it's just the way it goes. You can't do much about it. It's your health comes first. And I've talked to a lot of people that have gone through this thing, and they'll tell you the same thing. It's everything else is just gravy, but if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So just focusing on that and trying to stay in shape. At least mentally, it feels good to skate, and setting my sights on September as if I can be 100% by then, I can give it a try. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Brandon, your dad, owner of the Red Deer Rebels, president, GM, coach, he's done it all. What about you? Is there a part of you that says someday I can get into scouting, coaching, management? Any of those thoughts go through your head yet?
They're starting to go through my head for sure. I think more the last year here than previously, but I haven't really thought about that too much yet in terms of what I would do. I got 3 little kids at home that are, we got almost a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 18-month-old. So right now I'm just enjoying being with them, and to jump right back into coaching or something like that, I don't think I'd be ready for it, just to get back on the road again. I can't say I would be too eager to jump into something like that yet, but I guess we'll see. Maybe we'll know more in a year or two from now what I'll be up to. But right now, like I said, I'm still focused on just trying to play again if I can. So that's my whole mindset, and we'll kind of see what happens after that. But it's hard to say if I'll jump back into it. I don't really know yet. I don't think it'd be immediately, but I guess you never say never.
We're talking with Brandon Sutter. Brandon, you mentioned the fall. Have you got feelers out there in terms of a comeback?
And sorry, what do you mean, Donnie? Like just how I feel, or?
No. In terms of being in touch with organizations, or has your agent contacted anybody?
Yeah. Well, I had, I guess this summer there was still, back in July, there was kind of just interest figuring out where I was at health wise and stuff. And Mason just kind of said, he's not there yet. He needs more time. So, coming into next year, who knows? I really don't know. I think at that point, the best case for me, or if it's with the team, would be to just do a PTO or tryout. And at least I know I can put myself through it and see how it goes, because, I doubt there'll be anything else happen other than that. So, but who knows? I really don't even know that yet. I'm just kind of trying to get myself healthy, feel good, and I know if I feel good, I can play again. So that's kind of my mindset, and I kind of still have that drive for it. Like I even skating with the junior kids here, some days it's just I just get back on the ice, you just forget how much you miss it, and I'm not going to say you take it for granted when you're healthy and playing, but the second it's gone, it's taken from you, you really do realize how much you missed the game, but also just being around in the dressing room and with the guys. It's definitely something you miss more than anything. So I'm going to give it my best shot.
Tough to let go of. Brandon, COVID hits you physically, but there's also an emotional component to it. You sign a contract before last season. You're not able to play. What emotions did you go through then and even now?
Yeah, last summer was tough. When I was training through June and July, I was still doing okay. I could still skate and work out, and I kind of thought it was just what they were calling long COVID. It will go away. It'll go away. Like I said, it wasn't until August where I started to realize I was having some real difficulties. And I remember calling, I think Jim Benning, must have been sometime towards the end of August, maybe in early September. Just told him how I was feeling. I said, Jim, there's no way I can do this. I just am having a hard time. And honestly, they were so good about it, because I was so stressed up to that point, thinking you're letting people down. You're not ready for training camp. That's not, that's not professional. That's not what it's supposed to be. But it was such an unprecedented thing that I was so happy to hear the relief from Jim and from Greener at that time, just saying, hey, just don't worry about it. Just get yourself healthy, get back when you can. And they were supportive all the way through. So that was very, very relieving at that time. That took a bunch of stress off. So that helped me for sure. And last summer at that time too, we were having our newborn, our third baby. So it was a heck of a summer, and had a lot of rough parts to it, but obviously had the beauty of the baby. So it was a tough time, but I made it through, and my mindset from that point on was don't worry about the hockey, just get healthy. We'll figure out the career stuff after.
I don't know if you want to get political here, Brandon, but what would you say to anti-vaxxers and people who feel that the pandemic was a hoax?
Yeah, I can guarantee you it's not a hoax. I definitely, I've never felt something like that before. But when you learn about it, there's so much misconception of what is truth and what's false with both sides of it. When you learn about how your immune system is affected by the virus, what it can do to you, how it can deplete you. I had the vaccines as well, the Pfizer vaccines after, and I kind of reacted to them. But the reason I reacted to them was because my body was already in such a depleted state. It was so obvious to me. It wasn't even, people are always thinking, oh, did the vaccine do it? Or, I'm definitely somewhere in the middle on the whole vaccine thing now because of what I learned about it. But the virus itself is what triggered my whole histamine issue and all these things that are probably don't make much sense to most people until the people that have gone through it. And when you speak to people that have gone through it, their answers are the exact same. So it's very obvious.
Have you been in touch with Jonathan Toews, Brandon, by any chance?
Yeah, I have. He reached out to me, must have been last year, kind of mid-season, or maybe even before then. He'd reached out to me, and we kind of started talking then about what we were going through. And at that time, I didn't know what I had. I just knew I had something from COVID because I hadn't felt good since I had COVID. And he had kind of told me what he was going through, and then I was like, oh, I don't really know much about that. And fast forward to this year, talked to him a bit over the last couple of weeks, and there's a lot of similarities. It's pretty wild. So I'm glad he at least got his chance to come back and play when he did. It seemed like he was doing okay, but I think he said he just never quite felt normal, and he's taking care of himself now, so he's doing the right thing.
All right, Brandon, are you still watching the Canucks? Because, look, since you have not been able to play, 3 coaches, I think, in just over a year and a half, Brandon. But the core of the team is Pettersson, Hughes, Demko, Miller. You played with all these guys. Do you see these guys turning it around, Brandon, in the near future?
Well, I think there's always hope for sure, especially with the way some of those guys are playing. I know it's been a frustrating year or two here, going through a lot of changes, right from management, coaching staffs. It's a lot of change, not just for the staff, but for the players too. And obviously this trade deadline, you see guys leaving, and it's never an easy thing. And as a player, we don't really think about things too much. We kind of just show up at the rink and do our job, and the rest is kind of out of our control. I know it's frustrating for fans, but I know that certain guys in the room, they're frustrated with it too, and they want to turn it around, and be interesting to see what they can do this summer, and if they can, free up some space to, bring some guys in or find some younger guys, whatever they're deciding to do. Just kind of pick a direction and go with it, and hopefully they can have a better start next year.
Brandon, there's a lot of people out here pulling for you. All the best, my friend, and thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been, like I said, it's been a tough go, but definitely looking up, and just glad I can get back on the ice and stay in shape. And I appreciate you guys having me on the show, and I'm definitely doing a lot better. So I'm done complaining.
I worked at CKGY for 3 years. I lived in Red Deer for 3 years. You're living in one of the great cities in Canada, Brandon. All the best.
All right, thanks, guys.
You bet.
All right,
Brandon,
good luck.
Brandon Sutter, former Vancouver Canuck.